this story time has been sure exciting, and I've been blown away by all God has done for them Israelites and Mo. You know what? God sure is mighty, ain't he?
Oh, I tell you what, he sure is. In fact, God did all kinds of amazing things for Mo and all them Israelites.
So what happened after that? Did they make it to the promised land? Or did they get attacked by bandits? Or Wile E. Coyote and that roadrunner?
Well, I tell you what, they did have some more troubles. Really, as a matter of fact, the story of the Israelites, it's a long one, but really it's the story of God loving his people. Woo! Woo! But I tell you what, we ought to kind of lean in and let's finish our last story of Cowboy Mo. Just in case you ain't been with us for story time, let me tell you a little bit about what happened with Cowboy Mo. You see, Mo was one of God's special people, the Israelites. And them Israelites, they had been in big trouble. They's living in a place where this mean old nasty sheriff didn't take too kindly to them, and he was making them work for free, working in the fields and digging up gold. God, he picked out Mo to be the deliverer of his special people. So Mo, he went on and he told that sheriff, let God's people go. But the sheriff, he was stubborn as all get out, and he wouldn't do it. Not until God had sent plagues that were so bad, he finally said yes. Well, the Israelites, they left for a special place called the Promised Land. But the sheriff, he chased them down and tried to capture them. But God, he fought for the Israelites. He defeated that sheriff once and for all. And now Mo was left to lead the Israelites through the desert and into the Promised Land.
Yeah, but while they were traveling, some stagecoach robbers came up and took over their wagons and carried them off down that Oregon Trail.
No, that didn't happen. They did come up against some troubles though. But I tell you what, God was always with them. As a matter of fact, God was always talking to Moses, and Moses then was talking to the people.
Wait a second, Roscoe. Are you telling me Mo took that fiery tumbleweed all around the desert with him saying, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Actually, Tex, it wasn't like that at all. Bible says that Mo, he talked to God face to face, just like a friend.
So Roscoe, you're saying that God and Moses would speak face to face like we're talking right now?
Well, as a matter of fact, that is what I'm saying. You know, Mo, he learned a lot in all his travels, but the thing he learned the most was that nothing was more important than talking to God. He even had a tent that he would put up, and he'd go in there and he'd talk to God face to face, just like a friend. And sometimes when he'd come out, his face looked like it was lit up like fire.
And you know what? I bet they were singing, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You know what? I bet that's where that song came from.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it did, but I do know this, that everywhere Mo and the Israelites went, God was watching over them. God was watching them in the river and rescuing him.
God being with Mo and talking and rescuing him when he was out in that desert.
God sending Mo back with his walking stick to tell that sheriff, let my people go.
And God sending all those mighty plays and miracles.
Even God leading them Israelites across the desert.
And God fighting for them when they crossed over that Red Sea on dry ground.
And you know what, guys? All that happened because Mo talked to God.
You know, Roscoe, I'm thinking, is Mo just special, or can anyone talk to God like that?
Well, that's a right good question. You know what, I tell you, Mo was special, but guess what? So are you, and so are you all, cowboys and cowgirls. You can talk to God anywhere, anytime.
Roscoe, that's a great big idea. You know what? I can speak to God.
That's right.
And it's mighty fine to remember that our God is mighty and powerful, and he loves y'all.
Yes, sir! Woo! Well, I'll tell you what, it's been mighty fun being around here at the campfire, but I think it's time we headed on. It's a whole frontier out there. We got new adventures awaiting us.
Yeah. And you know what? I got a hankering for some fried chicken.
Come on, that sounds good. Well, I tell you what, make sure your spurs are sharp and your boots are squared up. It's time to head on out.
Yeah!